check it next time by when they'll have 4 laps to go.
Brocky looked good there for the opening laps, but he hasn't been able to bridge this gap. Maybe just a little bit. But he's certainly not threatening Glenn Seaton at the moment.
How'd you like to have to wrestle Seaton over the last 3 laps? He wants a win so bad. He's been taking longer to get to the line than Christopher Skase. Here he comes now. Seaton and the Peter Jackson Falcon. The gap out to about 3.
Showing how cold it is here still this afternoon, Doug. The brake ducts are blocked off on the Seaton car, so even with the stopping power that's required to pull these 1,300 kilogram cars up, it's cold enough here today not to have the direct air into the airline. Brocky's front ducts are also taped up, just a little slit. So trying to get the heat balance between. Mark might have a slight problem there.
Yeah, the mail was yesterday that Brocky was foxing, that he was running soft compounds to get that provisional pole position. And if he was, in fact, foxing and started today on these soft compound tyres, that would explain why he dropped off towards the end of this heat. Those tyres wouldn't last this distance on a dry track.
Doing a good job all the same, and looking like certainly holding second place.
For him down here. This is his home territory. The Victorians love to see Brocky do well. He's lying in second position at the moment. The cardboard replica they had of him across from the main straight earlier has gone all soggy in the rain. They've had to put it away, but they're cheering for him nonetheless. There's the gap.
2.83 seconds, the gap between race leader Glenn Seaton back to Peter Brock in second. Looks a little closer, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like he's pulled him back another 100 metres or so.
Sitting nicely on the ground, both cars. Look at this Falcon coming onto the fast left-hander onto the straight, left front wheel on the ground. That's a good starting point. We saw in some of the earlier heats at Amaru and at Simmons Plains, the fellows had very soft suspensions, and the left front tires were coming up off the ground. Not exactly the best place for them to be working, but here today on this very magnificent fast circuit, world-class international circuit, everybody's got their feet on the ground here today.
That lifting of the inside front wheel was costing him yesterday. The Fords were changing a lot of front rights during practice. That lifting of the front wheel was loading up the driver's side wheel and causing him a few tyre problems. As the heat comes into this track, with the sun out and the rain away, it could cause them a problem again during the second heat.
2.68 seconds the gap from first to second. Brocky is eating into Seaton's lead, but with only 2.5 laps remaining, it's rather doubtful he can pull something really special out of the bag. Seaton's been on the boil here since the race started. Car sounds great. He hasn't had a brake lock-up.
Well, Peter Brock's good at arithmetic. He'll know how many laps to go and how much more he's got in the car, whether it's worth another uncharacteristic lunge. I don't think he'll throw second away.
He's charging on it with respect.
Oh!
An instant
Alan
there
Jones
Jonesy and one of the Winfield
Jim Richards, I think.
Richards.
Well, not the best of races for Alan Jones. Ping for jumping the start. He's out in Hairy Fairy Land at Penguin Island and trying to get his way back onto the racetrack.
Not too often.
2 laps to go. And here comes your race leader, Glenn Seaton, Peter Jackson Falcon. That gap still about 2.6 seconds or just a tad under as they come beneath the Dunlop Bridge and into the right-hander. Brocky stalking the race leader.
2.22 seconds the gap's down to, Mike.
Well, time is running out for Peter Brock's charge. John Bauer still there running in third spot. Thomas Mazzera is fourth. There's Brocky. Car number 05 for the Holden Racing team, the Telecom Mobile team.
He's certainly not giving up on this chase.
Well, the plastic's out. Glenn's having a quick sip here before he gets down to a lap to go. We're carrying that on our STP race cam. He looks relaxed, doesn't he?
He does. He always does, doesn't he? Totally calm.
I wonder how much plastic he chews through during a race.
And is it carcinogenic?
It's easier on his teeth than grinding them away.
Yeah. So he's checking out. He has a look in the mirror. He knows where Brock is and how far back Brock is behind him.
Snappy gear change there.
Brock now has John Trimble in the the Daily Planet car. Passes him on the inside as Trimble effectively moved out of the way to let the fast cars through.
A little bit of left foot braking there by Brocky. He had the brake on as he was accelerating over the hill, just keeping the brake pedal up as he went down into the dip. Good smart driving. But here's Glenn Seaton again, looking good.
That gap is certainly two. It's probably gone out a little bit more now. Coming down to take the last lap board. Across the line, Glenn Seaton, car number 1, the leader, Peter Brock in second spot, car number 05.
Gap did come down. Gap's down to 1.54 seconds. And I tell you what, the battle for 4th and 5th's pretty tight too. Bowie and Matsira really at it. It'll be interesting to see him cross the stripe on the last lap.
Well, Glenn Seaton drove extremely well in the rain this morning. It gave him the start on the front row for this second heat. He got another good start in this heat, and he's been able to hold off the field, and good on him. Congratulations.
Look at Brocky, he's giving it everything, but he's not going to be able to bridge that gap in the remaining half a lap. He's certainly charged though and excited his fans in a big way for the first time this season.
Glenn doesn't want to miss a gear change here.
I don't think he will.
Look at that.
Brock's hounded lap after lap here.
Brocky's on fire.
Try to make up all this ground in the last couple of laps of the race is really asking a lot, because Glenn's had... you never have an easy run at this, but he hasn't had to contend with traffic after putting a buffer between himself and the rest of the field. They come down, the right-hander here for the final time. Brock still trying to close.
It's a be a good drag to the finish.
Well, his best finish this season. He's done well in all the heats, in all the rounds so far.
Here he comes, putting together 2 wins in round number 4 at Phillip Island today. Peter Perfect chasing the blue car in front. Open spaces at the front straight. Checkered flag at the ready, and Ford strikes back at the island. Glenn Seaton across the line to lead Peter Brock by under 2 seconds. Third place will go to Mark Scaife in the number 2 Winfield Commodore. John Bower just fending off Thomas Mazzira to finish back in 5th spot. Great finish to the race. And good to see Ford coming back. It's been Holden since the series started. But they've cleaned up here today as we check them out for you on the Shell race score. Glenn Seaton, the winner in the Peter Jackson Falcon over Peter Brock's Telecom Mobile Net Commodore. Third going to the Winfield Commodore of Mark Scaife. Fourth to John Bower in the Shell FAI Falcon. And Thomas Mazzira coming from the clouds to finish 5th. 6th spot, Dick Johnson in the Shell Falcon. 7th spot to Wayne Gardner in the Coca-Cola Commodore. Jimmy Richards finishes 8th. 9th goes to Neil Crompton, and 10th goes to AJ.